Interesting question I got asked. Who was the queen of R&B in the 80s? Was it Anita Baker or was it Sade? That's a good question. Very good question. I never get really asked that too much, but they were hugely influential. Um, who do you want me to start with first? Well, we'll start with Sade. That whole band, that sound, that lounge style was huge. It didn't sound like anything else that was happening at the time. It was new romantic, but it had a strong flair. But there was no denying her impact. And when I say that for R&B, both Sade and Anita Baker are linked almost to Luther Vandross because of the stylings, because it was adult contemporary R&B that has sophistication to it. Sade musically had a certain it was a cocktail lounge, but with a bitter taste of ice on the rocks that was cut to bits. So when you listen to it, it's one of those things that uh, when you listen to it, it kind of like puts you in a certain kind of frame of mind. It's really down, the way it makes you feel. It had the type of tone and demeanor. Um, it's bittersweet. So it's like, how you convey it and the measures. Because a lot of people get it misconstrued. A lot of that music was depressing and sad, and but it had such a pleasant tone that some people could resonate to her tones and her singing that they felt a certain way. So, some people get in their way about Sade to this day. When you say the wrong thing, they gonna definitely split you sideways into bits and pieces. We get to Anita Baker though. That jazz blues down home, but it had such a sway to it. It had such a sway to it. And she was very influential on quite a few acts back then. Um, I mean, I'd have to think about other black female artists back in the day to say who could be queens of R&B, but these two were so distinctive that you know they didn't get the same hype quite as Luther and Freddie or Michael and Prince or Prince and Rick James or stuff like that, or whoever you wanted to battle up against or something like that, you know. But it was some people who definitely had a camp. Make no mistake about it, there was a camp. And I think that when they both had strong records that came out around the same time, and they both were dominant. So I think that there was definitely something that you could feel with that. If I had to pick out a Sade and Anita Baker, who I would say I consider the queen of R&B in the 80s, if I had to, I'm going to say Anita Baker. I just like the records better. I like the voice better. Now, Sade had catchy songs, so I'm not even going to argue that. And I do like her style, because her style alone, she got her own lane. So I will give you that. However, that Anita Baker thing, just that rapture, that whole thing just hit in such a way. And she had an expressiveness that just kind of conveyed that, and it had a aura about it. So, but this is a good question. Who was the queen of R&B females in the 80s? And Sade and Anita Baker. I think it's a good question. I think it's very debatable. Let me know your thoughts and your takes. And do you have a preference of the two? Although if you got somebody else you want to mention, feel free. But these two were very prominent. Still have and still carry sway to this day. Please hit like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shitter if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.